or maybe for the first time. I don't know. This is a wind team that a lot of people have because it's the old wind team. You know, all of the wind players had it at one point. It was the wind team. When you said you were playing wind, we knew exactly which 3 units you had, you know? Unfortunately, only one of them at this point, and this could change actually pretty rapidly because of Worldwide, which is a pretty cool effect. They could be getting a 140 a lot sooner than later, but right now, unfortunately, Joom is the only 140, and this is still quite a strong team, even though it only has one 140 unit on it in total. I mean, look at them trucking my fucking ass here. Alright, got their tank though. If we can survive... Whoop. CT down really sealed the deal on that. Alright. So Costa wasn't as easy as I thought. But there are ways to increase my odds against wind teams, namely Tetrasulfid. Tetrasulfid will bring you, in addition to 10 earth resistance, if you've built for it, 25 wind resistance. So it will give you significant staying power against wind, in addition to being a fairly evasive Esper. So this particular formation would give me the better evasion, but 59 still isn't like a ton, so it's not great on her. Additionally, I could do better than this VC. We can do better than this. More agility, always a good thing. Hello, wotv players, I'm Jackie Fox, and welcome all you cool cats to our climb to the top of Arena. Okay, we're at 18th. Gonna try Costa again with our wind resistance. See if that changes much. The wind resistance is on Addison, so I'm hoping that Addison can wipe him. Probably because Addison was the last person standing in the last match. Seems fair. That low hate start is really interesting for her, and hopefully she can swing this match. Well, we have ooh. Hoping you had followed up on... Damn, Glaciella. Damn. How many turns you gonna take? The fuck? Who quickened her? Almost never seen that not get a double slow. Alright, fuck him up. Damn. Okay, so... one Esper does not a dramatic change make. I don't know why I thought it would, but it was worth a shot. And it does help make my matchup better. It's just my original matchup there wasn't good enough to salvage, really. Additionally, I'm not really good against evasion. We don't hit super well except for Addison Ray's go viral. But let me get that magic up and try number 11 here. This is going to be our Bradley with ice. There are a lot of Bradley Dialdo teams, especially here really early in the meta. And the next thing that you're going to see is more and more wind. We're already starting to see it, but there isn't a wind player at the top of the mountain yet. And there aren't multiple wind teams being supported by the meta. See, I mean, this is like a very, very hyper-specific ecosystem. It was originally colonized mostly by Earth with the Alder Bradley compositions. I've been in the top of it and in the thick of it every time because I figure out a way to beat the top player. And then the natural counter to that ecosystem starts to develop. So after you have enough wind players at the top for long enough, that's just going to encourage ice players to make the climb up into the top. So, I mean, really, the people have to be close, or relatively close, and they have to be keeping up because the points scored get pretty high, and you have to play pretty opportunistically. But, you know, people do go pretty hard. Like, my first day, I kind of got handicapped, honestly, because I didn't use all of my Viz restores. I have 11. And this is unfortunate, and there's a lot of complaints that I have about this system, honestly. Just the way that, like, you get more restores with royal rank, so bigger whales naturally get more chances to score points, which is kind of fucked up. Like, you're tying my hands behind my back directly in this way, in this competitive format. But also the idea that, like, I don't know, if there was like 3 and everybody got 3 and we could all just pay a little bit of Viz, or 5 or something. And like, I get it, it's supposed to be a pissing match thing. Somebody takes your first place, you log in and you throw another 50 Viz or 100 Viz on the fire. A little bit at a time, you chip it away, chip it away, chip it away. All of a sudden you're buying Transcendence material so you can power your stuff up, and then you're paying 50 for more orbs. And it does start to get kind of expensive. I want to say it's like, for me, like 900 Visior to go all the way every night, in addition to the 3 orbs. And that gets me 75 fights. So, you know, do as many fights as you can, because there's going to be somebody whalier than you doing even more, and you're just going to have to do it better. Also, prison rules, like pick the biggest thing that you can beat and take them down. But really, you're looking for that 1.5 modifier, because for some reason it doesn't go any higher than that. So really, you can look at the lowest thing that has a 1.5, but like, you know, at a certain point, your ranking is based not on objective difficulty, especially depending on what you're playing into it. But it's based on your willingness to try hard and be good at the same time. So there's always going to be teams in there that just what you're playing, especially if you have multiple teams. This is definitely the way I recommend it. Like, if you can have multiple teams that have bonus units and stuff going on, or multiple elements of teams so that you can play into some of these ecosystem changes, that's really going to benefit you. Running the exact same 3 units all week long is a terrible idea, and I'm only doing it for this video. It is legitimately the hardest way to get to the top in Arena. But at this point in the video, I've already, I believe, gotten to number 1 twice. The Earth teams are starting to change their stuff up, and it's starting to get more difficult to take those out. So I'm having to rethink my strategy a bit. Like, what could I change up? What can I change out to make this team work better? And one thing that I can do, definitely, is again bring in Tetrasilphid and start targeting the wind teams in the ecosystem. If it's, I mean, this is an evasion Esper, and Locke is going to be my main man out in front, tanking the damage. Then 25 additional wind resistance on him is just going to be great if I dedicate myself to running him into wind teams. So while in the beginning of this meta I was having to hunt for top tier Earth teams, now I'm having to hunt and build myself to go up against top tier wind teams. And this particular wind team has all 3 of the newest wind units available. So this is like some primo, like a top tier. Well, I don't know that it's top tier, but they are really good. Good together. I don't know. There's absolutely no synergy here, and they're certainly not the win team, but they are certainly a 140 win team, and that is also nothing to sneeze at. Additionally, Edward is pretty accurate, and I think Riesel is as well. I mean, Edward himself isn't necessarily accurate, but he has good guaranteed hit options that will break us down. Nice. Ooh, there's that Star Strike. Look at that. Oof. Took a lot of damage there. We still just dodging everybody. She blinded. But Addison Ray coming in here with the slow, opportunistic kill from Locke. And now we're just going up against poor Lena. So I'm gonna repeat against this team, and they're gonna stay, since they're in 6th, they're gonna stay at a 1.5 modifier for quite a while. I mean, we have several people under that. So until I get really close to their score, I'm gonna be able to farm them pretty effectively. And people be bunched up sometimes because people play this like it's The Price is Right and just one up people by a little bit. But there's also a tremendous amount of points available even just for your first hit when you hit a 1.5. So even getting back into a streak, I mean, yes, you want to keep your streak going, but think about this, you're playing this all week, so if you learn who you can beat, then you have go-tos in any situation. You know how to change up your team, because this isn't the best way to go up against this team. This also isn't necessarily the ideal team. I don't remember how this one went. I do remember I didn't fight them again from what I recall, but I don't necessarily think that means I lost. I might not have felt happy about it though. Ooh, Reagan seems to be accurate. Ooh. That courage removal on Bartz is clutch. Ooh. Reflex. Sniped. Down. I was doing really good against a lot of the ice teams. Here is another one. This time with a healer. This has a lot of magic damage, actually, now that I'm looking at it. This feels kind of scary. Maybe I shouldn't have picked this one. This one might actually be the one that takes me. I was looking at it because Bartz had done really well paired up against Elia previously. But, woof. That's not a good start. We are getting to their back row unit really quickly, though, which is good. Nice. Okay. Looking great. Bartz can finish that off. Okay. Damn, sniper. And that follow-up. The follow-up and a heal. Nice. So that's another one that I can beat. A lot of these ice teams that are coming up here to deal with all the wind that was here over the last day, dealing with all the earth. You see what I mean about it being an ecosystem. And at a point, you're starting to see like all three of those elements hanging out together, and you can kind of build against one of them in particular. And to a certain degree, they'll kind of be built similar ways because what works, works. The meta is what it is. So you keep fighting people above you. Again, you don't get good points like this. You don't get high scores like this when you don't fight people who are higher ranked than you. So, you know, fighting anybody that you see on screen right now would not be good points for me. I want to get that 1.5 every time because anything else, comparatively, is just a waste of my resources. So here we are in 5th. 4th. Fourth? 3rd. Okay, so here we are going up against King again from the looks of it. Gotta give it to him for rocking this Galzak, because he's really rocking it. I mean, it's working for him too. Can't hate. Now, a couple days ago, before King had to start dealing with beating a bunch of wind teams with this somehow, presumably, or tuning it to beat my team because he couldn't beat all the wind teams and Earth was, I guess, easier to build for. Things have changed. There's always been some problems here, but him getting over on this side of the hill means that I can't Blade Blitz into the back row, because I could one-shot very easily this Galzak with like any of my units, but none of them are really going to get back there. And now is maybe a little bit too late, but actually this is looking good. Well, Bradley makes things very swingy. Okay, so that would be good, except I'm pretty weak to magic, and he's pretty strong to physical, so that's... Well, went to a tie-ish. A draw. Oh, I mean, I lost, because I had less health, but there were 2 people still left standing. I'm going to be stubborn and try once more to go after King. I think I'm switching which places my units are for this. So close. But I think this actually might be a little worse. Did get some misses though. But these follow-ups are laughable. Like doing 3 damage. Did finally get the Galzak, but like we're surrounded and beat down now. Not even getting good heals. Because the healing power break, that kind of sucks. So, as much as I hate to admit it, because yesterday I was beating King as a part of the Earth meta, now that we're here in the Wind meta, or mostly Wind meta, Wind and bonus unit meta, now, this is what I have to defeat. And this isn't even really that physical of a team, so I'm kind of at a disadvantage there. A lot of my barriers aren't really doing much against anyone but Glaciella. I mean, she's probably the DPS of the team, Either of these other boys probably could do decent damage if they really tried. Mainly because, I mean, if they could hit, really is going to be the big problem for them. At least one or two of these units. But I am seeing good single target resistance, but they're also getting in the blast zone. And this is the AoE damage map, so very swingy. This is such a strange battle condition, but it's also really cool because it's even, you know, everybody, I mean, element wise, you know, they're not picking favorites, and it's something that everyone benefits from. I mean, there are certain units I would imagine. I mean, but it would be really interesting to run Dark Fina in this because she would just be using Dystopia and Law of Geoassimilation more, which would be arguably a really cool way to play her because she's just stopping and healing on her big damage moves. Like, why not? That's pretty cool. Even though she's the single target mistress. But also she could break single target resistance too, so that's not insubstantial. Look at this. Everybody but the one that hits well, but Tetrasulfate is really, really helping Locke out with these wind units. So now we're starting to build up a streak. There is a slightly lower wind team, but I'm going to do this one and skip it because I'm pretty certain I can beat them. So if I'm switching, oh no, this was a mistake. So Dark Tetrasulfide has a potential 25 resistance to Earth, so I'm trying that on Bartz to hopefully, and like if this was the way that our teams had worked out day 1 instead of like day 2 or even 3 of Arena, then this would have definitely worked, making Bartz thicker and doing what was working. But he's completely changed where his units are on the map, and that's just making the whole matchup different for me, and just making something better. A simple tweak is not going to fix that. So he's figured out how to, specifically with his formation, like screw my team pretty badly. And while I am kind of toughing it out here, I'm not doing it well. So that is a lesson learned. And the lesson is that was fucking garbage.